Good morning. Today I have just do injection. You know the injection in US you can do it yourself. For example, this one. Then you press. Then there will be one click. And then the second click. Then you watch this one. If it's the yellow color appear, that means the injection finished. Up then the injection can only be used for one time. So the topic today we are talking about the globalization or the integration or the working from home or remote work. Okay, and finally the ranking of passport. You know that people keep lying about the fact that every country has a border. They nowadays they say, oh, this is the 4.0 or the digital age, so we can stay home, we can stay in Vietnam, and we can work for Australia, for USA, for England, for Germany. It's very very funny các bạn. You know that in order to work remotely, we have to know the corporation and we must have the solid relation before we start our remote job. If we don't know, just via the internet or network, how can we trust them? And what do we know about them? And also the payment. Nowadays, Vietnamese government is trying to tighten control of foreign currency, especially the remittance outside. Every remittance of US dollar out of Vietnam will be seriously checked. So, people keep lying. Now we globalization. Now this is the globalization area. So people all over the world are more and more integrated. It's not, U.S. or American is different from Germany, and of course is different from Japanese, for example. Recently, the Vietnamese passport is lower in ranking. Now, Vietnamese passport is below Cambodian one. So they keep talking thousand of billion Vietnamese dong, something like that. Everything in Vietnam is ranked number one in the world. Oh my God. And there's Red Bull. Red Bull is the definition for those who, how can I say, crazily believe in socialist, communist. But since President Trump issued the executive order that every visa entry US must be declared social network or the internet network. That's why Red Bulls was cut their tongue. Such a thing is critical. We cannot be compared to other country in terms of GDP. Now I have to change the term. I cannot say we. I have to say Vietnam cannot be compared to other country in terms of GDP. This is a very inaccurate comparison because the country of 100 million people will have more or higher GDP than the country of 50,000 people. The most important thing is the earning per capita. Now I am quite happy that our family are lucky to enter US and to settle down here. You know that in Vietnam there's some positive point, but there's a lot of negative point. First, the cost of living in Vietnam now is not cheap anymore. Second, the pollution, the air pollution. Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City are the most polluted city in the world. And the income for people is not increased accordingly. So the third one is the hygiene of food. Recently, how long canned food was revealed that they use dirty or expired or rotten food from South Africa to process some of the canned food. So Vietnam is the most cancer country in the world. There's many people in Vietnam are getting cancer. So there's a lot of negative point, and there's a game that they try to build all of the beautiful let's say like the metro or other modern facility, tall building to attract tourists. And also when the overseas Vietnamese often called Viet Kieu come back there, they did not realize they thought Vietnam now is richer, but in fact it's not. Now there's a lot of things we have to pay, and even the cost of living in Vietnam is, or the tax is even higher than US. So the safety is the most important. Many rich people in Vietnam are trying to get a visa to settle down in US or in advanced country. It will be ridiculous if the one who has a stable job and also who is let's say stable in US to sell their house and to leave or to come back to Vietnam. Be careful. In order to move the asset from Vietnam to US is very difficult, and to get an entry or the permanent resident in US is very tough. Of course, when we enter US, we have to encounter many difficulties, including English and culture and also the job, all the thing. But when we settle down and when we retire, we want to come back to Vietnam, be careful, watch out. My advice is to come back to Vietnam to stay for, let's say, 6 months. After that, you can decide. It will be stupid, or it will be silly to sell your home and come back to Vietnam to buy a home over there. The housing price in Vietnam now is the most expensive in the world, but the infrastructure does not develop accordingly. There's a lot of flood and many things to be considered. Of course, nowadays we have the terms when the Vietnamese people go abroad. Uh, Other foreign people do not like them because they are so-called artillery colonel. They always exaggerate the truth. Sometimes it's a big liar. So that's why overseas Vietnamese dislike the newcomer. They say something that is untrue. So we have to be very careful. Of course, that is, and also the Vietnamese in Japan, in Korea, they do many bad things like the theft, robbery, theft. It's very bad. We have to stay away from them, and President Trump already set the barrier. Nowadays, in order to get a visa or the immigration to USA is extremely difficult. They want to kick out people who are not qualified and cannot make a contribution to USA. Like me, I have to go back to school to upgrade my educational level to be survival here. So look at the long queue in U.S. consulate in Ho Chi Minh City to get the visa. We already know the answer. To come to USA is extremely difficult, but to come back to Vietnam is easy. So it's your call. Yeah, thank you very much.